And good Tuesday morning. Welcome to episode 85 of the Inside Drive podcast. Sitting inside the Beach House Sales Development Studios today, we are joined by special guest Coach Tommy Joe Whiddon. Before we get started with today's show, let's talk about some of our sponsors, starting with Beach House Sales Development, our studio sponsor.
Looking to buy, sell, or invest along Florida's Emerald Coast? This is Beth Mulvey, owner at Beach House Sales and Development. Our boutique brokerage specializes in waterfront homes, luxury properties, condos, investment opportunities, and new developments throughout Panama City Beach, 30A, Bay County, and Walton County. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer, a seasoned investor, or ready to sell your current property, Beach House provides concierge-level service every step of the way. Visit beachhousesalesfl.com for more information or give us a call at 850-919-3500 and let Beach House help you find your place on the coast.
Now let's talk about the official Juice the Inside Drive podcast.
Looking for a fresh start to your day? Then you've got to check out Juice and Sunsets. Their cold-pressed juices and wellness shots are made with fresh, local ingredients to help you feel your best.
And if you're headed to Rosemary Beach, stop by the 30A Farmers Market every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Grab one of their amazing favorites like Island Greens, Orange Oasis, or Watermelon Waves.
At Juice and Sunsets, it's about more than great juice. It's about community, gratitude, and living well. As they like to say, come sip, enjoy, and be blessed.
Juice and Sunsets. Healthy, never tasted so good.
Talk about the official Athlete of the Week sponsor, that is American Charlie's Grill and Tavern.
Before it was the beach, Panama City Beach was another small town. And that's the spirit at American Charlie, your neighborhood tavern at the beach. Familiar faces, smiles and hellos from the employees, a menu that steps it up, and daily specials. Locals who gather at happy hour or to watch the game with family and friends and leave with a see you soon. American Charlie, a neighborhood tavern with plenty of parking, located by Rocket Lanes and Firefly, in the shops at Edgewater.
Of course, if you're looking for a place to get fit for a new set of golf clubs or a retrofit of your current clubs, there is only one place to go. That is Golf Plus PCB.
Are your golf scores going up, not down? Struggling to find the sweet spot and wondering why the putts won't drop? Golf Plus has the experience you need to get your game back on track. Over 40 years of experience to be exact. And we have all the brands you're looking for, like Callaway, TaylorMade, Ping, Titleist, Mizuno, and more.
Our repair shop turns out high-quality work in record time, and our store is stocked with all the products you need for your game.
Our custom fitting process has been recognized in Golf Digest and Golf Magazine, and our technology is second to none. So if you're tired of blowing up the bunker, looking for lost balls in the woods, or dragging around your garage sale find golf bag, then Golf Plus in the shops at Edgewater is your new golf store.
All right, now I'd like to welcome Coach Tommy Joe Whiddon from the Mosley Varsity football team. Coach, thanks for coming on again. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We're just going to kind of get some questions. I've had an interview with before about your history and all that stuff. So this is going to be more about what's coming up this season, and depending on how much time we talk about some NFL and college stuff, as well as that's not as right around the corner as your season, but right around the corner as well. We are obviously getting close to kickoff. What stood out to you the most about this team during the off season?
Well, I think looking back in January, I think it starts with just our work ethic. I think one of the first things that you'll notice about our program is we completely revamped our strength and conditioning program. Not that we were doing anything wrong, but I felt like there was room for improvement. And I think there's always, when you're leading a program, you've always got to be finding things to adjust, to change, to be as efficient and to get the most development out of our players. And we brought in Jordan Whiteley as our strength and conditioning coach. And
former Mosley player too.
Yeah, former Mosley player. And he took our entire program and our off-season program and just flipped it on its head. Came in, did baseline measurables on all of our players, and then would go through our different cycles. And not only when we were lifting and doing all of our different things, we're going outside and running. We're running on lasers every single time. Everything was just measured to the nth degree, and we got immediate feedback on how good our workouts were for that day. And then also too, like Jordan being a young guy, just his development as a coach as well. You could see him coming in, I wouldn't say unsure, but just obviously never had trained that many guys to that scale before.
Is someone like him more relatable to the kids because they're younger? I mean, obviously you're a young coach too.
Oh, like 100%. Like, so the first thing as a coach, like when you're always yelling at, like your voice goes stale over time. And like whenever somebody comes in preaching the same message that you do, it's a different voice, it's a younger voice, and he does a great job of relating to the kids. And like our development got even better, like just as his confidence as a coach, improved through that process as well. And I was just extremely pleased in this off season from the development we had, but just through that, just our hard work, our grittiness, we compete, every single day at Mosley, whether we're competing against ourselves or competing against somebody in some form of a competition. And was just really pleased. Led into spring practice. Thought we had really good work during spring. Ultimately, when we went over to Fort Walton Beach, we played Crestview, Pine Forest, in Fort Walton. We kind of each played them in a quarter, so to speak. We won all three of those, which then led into our summer, our summer program as well, which Jordan led. And again, kids worked really hard. Our team, having 150 kids, almost perfect attendance every single day.
That's
Definitely
awesome.
never beneath 90%. And again, like kids may go to a camp or something like that. We don't hold that against the kids, but just kids wanting to show up, kids wanting to get better, kids wanting to work. And just it's a testament to the guys that we have, where the program's at, and it's a fun group of guys to coach every single day.
And I think that what was the dinner the other night? The Night of Champions?
Yes.
I think you made that a requirement for all your kids to go to that, right? And I'm sure they all went.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Like
that's awesome.
Yeah, very appreciative to Highland Park Baptist and what they do. Obviously, they bring in a great speaker. This year is David Pollock. And heck, I get just as much out of it as the kids do. I mean, the guys that they bring in, guys that have been really successful at the highest level, and I'm locked in and just taking mental notes of everything that's being said and trying to figure out is there something there that we can bring in. And I cross my fingers that like whenever he says something that we say within our program that the kids catch on to that.
Yep.
And but like also too, like to me, if Highland Park is going to put on an event like that,
you should go.
And like you pull up and you see just all the people of their church out there grilling steaks and putting in time and putting in effort, that we're going to be there. And I think that just speaks to in Mosley football. If I ask any player what's rule number one, they better say show up. And to like we talk about the things in life that are important to you, that you're going to show up for. So if people are going to go out of their way to put something on for you, the expectation is for you to be there, because if you don't, ultimately that tells people you don't care.
1,000%. What's the identity of this year's Mosley football team? If someone watches one game, what do you want them to see?
Well, that's a great question. I think there's a lot of levels to that question. Like we talk about this, every football team is different.
Yep.
Every team is going to take on an identity of the leaders of that team. That we always talk about, rule number 2 and number 3 of Mosley football is work hard and compete. So when you come and watch us play, that we want to compete in everything that we do. When people come watch us play, if they don't walk away from Tommy Oliver or wherever we on and say, man, that's a competitive team that plays really hard, then we say that we're frauds, that we're not living the things that we preach and talk about on a daily basis. And like that's, and I think as a coach, man, there's no greater honor than from another coach or somebody there that says, hey man, your kids play really, really hard. And I think that's something that we take a lot of pride in as a football team. And I'd say the third thing is a team that just executes at a high level. I think whenever people are going to come make an investment, like they're going to want to watch a well-oiled machine. They want to see a team that can execute in critical situations, a team that's not going to have a bunch of dumb penalties and beat themselves. And because again, like we want our team to be a reflection of the community that we represent. You know, the people of Lynn Haven are like smart, hardworking people that take a lot of pride in their work every single day. And like, we want our football team to be a reflection of that. And that when people walk to that, like win or lose, I mean, obviously nothing's guaranteed, but people are proud of the product that we put on the field. And that, like that, you know, $8, $10 that somebody's going to invest, heck, between a family of four, between tickets, between, you know, concessions, I mean, somebody's easily going to be into a game over $50.
Yep.
And like, we want to put a product on the field that people are willing to spend that, and not just one time, but then come every single week.
Absolutely.
And like, those are things that we don't take lightly. Those are things that we talk about. We'll talk about it again, like as we approach the season. That like, those are things that we represent, those things we stand for. And people are making a real investment to come watch us play football, and we want to people proud and excited about what we put out on a weekend basis.
Well, that's one thing you can ask. You can control effort. You may not be able to control your height and other stuff like that, but if you can control effort and attitude, and you're doing the best you can every time you walk out of that locker room, you know, we're having that. It's just a product of, you know, what happened there. What have you seen the biggest improvement since spring football?
Well, I think that the message that we've really been preaching this off season is leadership. You know, last year's team was very unique with the amount of leaders that we had. You know, Wyatt Fleming, Adam Land were just like great guys that were obviously really good football players, but they were not scared to hold guys accountable. Yep. Which in today's time that, and I think that just, you could see kind of last football season as kind of the season went on, we just got better and better every single week. And I think that's just a testament to the leaders of that football team. Again, those guys are gone, and like, that's been the challenge for this group of guys and the hard part is like, outside of JP, like, guys weren't forced to have those roles. So like, they are trying to work their way through that.
Yep.
You know, it's a hard process that is completely foreign to them because of social media and I want to be liked and all this. And we talk, like, leadership is not a fun responsibility to take on.
You got to have the hard
conversations.
You got to have the hard,
but like, there's going to be a lot of failures in that. Like, everybody has this perception that leadership is like, I can be perfect, I can do everything right. No, it just means you got to be consistent.
Yep.
And
like you said, holding people accountable.
Yeah, and like, and
some of those are your friends, you know, people you've grown up with, and sometimes you don't want to do that.
And the hardest people to hold accountable of all of that is yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and just kind of working through that. And again, it's been a work in progress. I'm definitely pleased with the guys that we've challenged in that role. By no means are where we want to be, but like, the only way they're going to have a chance to really do that is go through those tough times, those adverse moments. Like, you don't know when they're going to present themselves, but you got to be ready for them. And but I tell them, like everything else, like, if you don't try to lead on a daily basis, when those moments present themselves, like, you haven't given yourself any equity to lead in those moments.
Yep. They have to see that when those moments happen.
Yeah, and like I said, it just goes back to that consistency. And I think we're at a point where guys are, you know, stacking days from a consistency from a leadership.
Good.
What's remained to be seen, I guess, to, you know, how that will ultimately play out as we get into the fall.
No doubt, no doubt. What position group has taken the biggest step forward this offseason?
I would like to think the group that's probably taking the biggest step forward would probably be our wide receiver group. You know, we lost 3 starters last year. Adam Land, Carson Griffin, Fletcher Taylor, you know, no longer here. And obviously all 3 of those guys are really good football players, all, you know, going to be playing college football or already are playing college football. And so there was a lot of challenge for that group to come in and to step up. And again, like, through our 7-on-7 schedule, like, there was a lot of opportunities for improvement. I think Jamarcus Halstead has really taken the reins of being the leader of that group. And his performance has been great. Like, we went up and played at Hoover 7-on-7. We played Thompson, that is number 11 team in the country preseason right now.
Well, that's real deal 7-on-7 too. You just wear a helmet and it's still full contact.
It's still full, and I mean, again, he went against a 5-star corner that's committed to Texas, and I mean, caught 6, 7, 8 balls on him.
Yep.
And really made a name for himself, and that just shows you how hard that he's been working. We have real expectations for him, coming in. Khalil Lauderdale was, a freshman that kind of got thrown in the fire late in the year. Obviously had a big play versus Mainland and had a great spring, picked up a couple of D1 offers. And Khalil's going to have that opportunity to become a household name for us, you know. I think the person with the biggest shoes to fill is Tanner Page at the tight end spot, replacing 2 Division I tight ends. Now, obviously, that's not the expectation for Tanner to be that type of player, but there's definitely big shoes to fill. We're challenging him every single day. He's definitely responded to that. There's things he still need to improve upon, but we're definitely excited about that group. And I think they've definitely improved from January to now. I think that group's definitely improved the most.
One thing that I'm so impressed with all the time is your social media content. Like, there was a lot of cool reels and stuff like that came out of that 7-on-7. And just kind of I think there was a mic'd up at one point where JP and I don't know which receiver were talking to each other, and they just said, just throw me the ball up and I'll go get it. It's so cool to see that behind the scenes stuff, and kudos to whoever does all that on your program, because that is just so cool and fantastic. And I think another thing that separates Mosley from a lot of other programs here in the area.
Yeah, that's TJ Pope from Never Lose Hope Media. And again, like we talked about, just that evolutionary process the year before. Like, we had always done social media and like we post graphics and all that type stuff. But like the thing that like these kids, they live in that world. They live in that world of on their phones. Also, too, like, nobody's watching long-form highlights anymore.
It's
like
quick hitters.
It's like 15 to 30 seconds.
It's that attention span.
It's
of the
correct. And again, like, that gives you a chance to promote your program, put eyeballs on your program. And we brought TJ in. TJ played running back for me when I coached at Niceville, and I mean, he's just gone above and beyond expectations for that. And like I said, it's brought a lot of eyeballs. And just appreciate to have him a part of our program. Like I tell him, Jason Land does all of our graphic work for us as well. And like those 2 guys, I mean, can make arguably 2 of the most important guys in our program, because they are at the front lines of like what everybody gets to see of Mosley football. They're our first introduction to where that type of stuff makes it where people want to come watch our games. And like I said, they kill it. They hit it out of the ballpark in doing all that stuff, and truly appreciative to have them be a part of our program.
How has this group handled expectations and the competition during fall camp?
Well, for a competition, I mean, it's one of our core values. I mean, if you're going to play Mosley football, you better be willing to compete. We're not promising anybody you're going to come out there and you're going to earn it between the white lines. And like, it's not for everybody. Like, there are kids in our program that wanted something promised to them or guaranteed, or I want to do this, and if I can't get this, I'm going to go play somewhere else. And they go play other places. And like at Mosley football, it's about earning it every single day and competing against the guy beside you, and understanding that competition is what ultimately makes you the best. And like I said, it's what we truly believe in. I understand it's a part of the world with these guys coming up through travel ball and all that, and I can go guest play and do all this type stuff. Like, it's a concept that's foreign to some kids because they're not used to that. Like, I can just pick up and go play wherever I want to do.
But which is not the case.
But competition is a part of us, and like I said, like, a lot of the things as a team, I like where we are, but like, truth be told, like, we won't find out until the 14th when we go against Bluntstown, and how we respond to different things. That's the exciting thing about football, is just the uncertainty. As much as you say you want to have control of things, there's some things that are out of control, but like you said before, like controlling your effort, how hard you play, those are the things that we're going to try to maximize. And through our execution, will ultimately determine what type of season we ultimately have.
No doubt. Kind of getting into a little more specifics, what is your biggest strength, your offense heading into week 1?
I mean, the biggest strength, now, his dad's not going to like me saying this, but it's the truth of the matter. It's JP Holsenbach. I can say by far and away, JP is the smartest quarterback that I've ever coached, and there's not even a close second.
Wow.
And just what he's able to do, his ability to process, and then on top of it be extremely accurate. I'm confident in JP that, like, if you put him on the board, like, he could go head to head with any high school assistant football coach. Like, for example, this summer in our 7-on-7 play, like, JP called every single play. And, like, I think that's good for us because, like, as we get into the season, that's going to give him the flexibility to be able to change and do some things at the line of scrimmage, and he's comfortable doing all that.
And all his receivers and linemen are comfortable. Receivers specifically,
and they've seen him do it all. They've seen him do it all year. You know, he's called the plays. Now, again, me and JP have a great relationship, and I'm probably way harder on JP than I've ever been probably on any quarterback I've ever coached.
Which is a testament to his ability, like you said, his processing and all that.
His process, his mental toughness, you know, all of that type stuff. Obviously, had a really successful year, you know. And me and JP have talked about this. Is like when you've had the year that he had last year, like as a competitor, like you always want to do more. And, you know, some things have gotten JP in trouble here a little bit in spring is just trying to come out and trying to play what I call hero ball and just try to do too much instead of, like, the thing that makes JP great is just his decision making, letting the game come to him, and not trying to do too much. And that's the thing it's so counter. As a competitor, you want to do the most, but oftentimes when you get yourself in trouble, it's because you are trying to play outside the framework of what we're ultimately, you know, trying to accomplish. And then I'd say the second thing, is Sammy Chisholm at running back. You know, rushed for over 1,000 yards, 20 touchdowns. I think he ended up being third team All-State. I mean, I truly believe Sam has the potential to be the best running back in Northwest Florida. We've seen it in practice. I mean, this offseason, working with Jordan, like when we came in January, Sam was running like in the mid, 4.7s through his work with Jordan in our offseason program. When he went to Mercer camp, he ran 4.5 flat.
Damn.
And just showed you the amount of improvement. The only way you can make that improvement, again, it just goes back to consistency, him working every single day. And then, like I said, through those lasers, having the feedback. And then like another thing that's unique is on our offensive line. We have no seniors on the offensive line, but we return 3 starters on the offensive line.
That's huge.
Yeah, we started 3 sophomores last year, and there's definitely some times we had to go through some growing pains because of that. But it's a young group, but it's a veteran group on the offensive line. So we're really
that's almost the best thing you could ask for with their offensive line. Young, but also veterans.
Yeah, we're excited about the group. Like I said, so from that kind of the preview, see how our receivers had the most room to grow and develop. And like I said, I feel like they answered the bell through what we did in our 7-on-7 schedule. And just, again, excited about the group on the offensive side of the ball.
On the flip side, defensively, what kind of style can fans expect to see from the Dolphins this season?
Yeah, we're always going to be aggressive, high pressure. And, one thing I always challenge our football team offensively and defensively is, like, every year I've been at Mosley, we've earned the highest GPA in Bay County. And so we obviously have really smart kids. And, like, that's going to be one of our calling cards about being able to win football games is by how much we can do and how much we can process. So defensively, we're going to play out of multiple fronts. We're going to play out of multiple coverages, and we're going to have multiple personnel and multiple blitz packages that we can throw at offenses, And, again, that's a testament to Coach Killitz and the schemes that he comes up with, and it's also a testament to our players to how much they can process and how much we can do. I'm really excited defensively about our front seven. It's going to be led by Cole Archambault, who had 15 sacks last year.
Wow.
And as a junior. And so we're just really, excited about what he brings to the table for us on the defensive side of the ball. And then, we pick up Eli Waldrop from Rutherford, who's a dynamic pass rusher. He's going to play defensive end. He's going to play linebacker. Charlie Cotter coming over from Arnold. He's going to play linebacker. He's going to play out in the nickel. So 2 guys that are very Swiss Army knife that we can move around and play in a lot of different spots. And then we just, we got a host of really good players up front in our front seven. Kingston Dawson, Jordan Parberry, Kane Colbert, who started last year at middle linebacker alongside Wyatt as a sophomore. So again, Kane is definitely going to be the signal caller over there for us. Kane has a 4.5 GPA.
Dang.
And just, his ability to diagnose, recognize. I get so angry at him at practice because, like, again, he can see our sets, he can see our alignments. And I feel like we do a lot offensively, and he's constantly just, hey, watch for these pullers, watch for like he's just calling things out.
Yep.
Not only is he, he's right a lot of the times, but he's also just giving confidence in his teammates by calling it out. So once they see it, just the ability to recognize and react just that little bit faster.
Exactly. Like, he's telling them what's coming so they can be more confident in what they have to do on that
and
play.
Like, and I always tell this to people too, like, whenever you do that, like, you're not always going to be right.
Yep.
But when you do that and you're wrong, like, it allows us to quickly get rid of that thought process and quickly get to the next process.
Yep.
When you're not saying anything, like, we're trying to figure out two things at once.
Yeah.
So, like, at least we're thinking something, oh, that's out of there, let's get to this next thing faster and have the ability to make the plays. And then I was going to say on the back end, Kingston Paul, our D1 corner, he only played 3 games last year, tore his meniscus. But he's back, he's healthy, he looks like a lockdown corner. I'm so happy where our secondary's at right now between him, Dawson Reed, Trip Moore. We just had a new kid move in from Mississippi, Dominic Daniels, who just came in like 3 days and inserted himself into the starting lineup. So
wow.
Yeah, we're excited about Dom and what he's going to bring to the table. And again, these guys are battle tested. Like I said, we play Thompson, number 11. I mean, every receiver for Thompson is going to play at an SEC school.
Jeez.
And so, like, our guy, and we've seen really good comp, and we've not only them, but we played a host of other high-level teams, and I just feel really confident about where we are right now on the defensive side of the ball.
All right, one more question, then we'll take a quick break.
Yeah.
Obviously, the third phase of football, special teams often decides close games. How important has that phase been during preseason preparations?
Yeah, so very, like, unique situation. We picked up a kicker, John Mahoney. He's a homeschool kid. Hadn't really played a lot of football. I think he's played some soccer. And in the spring, I get an email, hey, coach, blah blah blah. We're looking to play football at Mosley. He gets enrolled, does all of his paperwork. We get him out there. Obviously, have very low expectations for John, just based off what he said. And he gets out there, and next thing you know, he's hitting bombs. He's he hit a couple of 45 yarders in practice.
Nice.
His kickoffs are I'd say about 25% to a third are been in the end zone. So awesome. he's got a nice leg. But like I tell John, like, my expectations for the kickers, let's make sure that we can make all of our extra points, and that we're confident on anything inside of the 25-yard line in. Anything outside of that is just is icing on the cake.
Absolutely.
And but, like, again, like, we really won't know what we have in John until he gets out there underneath the Friday night lights. But like, up to this point in practice, he's done a great job.
What was his last name again?
Mahoney.
John Mahoney.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to remember that for when I'm out there watching games. Yeah. We're just going to take a break real quick, talk about our good friends at the Back Nine Panama City Beach.
I think you should visit the Back Nine Panama City Beach because you're going to have a fun time regardless of if you are an avid golfer or brand new to it, and it's 24/7. So if you're interested in coming to the Back Nine, you can go to our website, back9golf.com, and book a tee time. You can also book a free demo. And we also have memberships available monthly and for the year. Our bays booked by the hour, and then also we have club rentals as well if you don't have your own clubs. Come visit us at the Back Nine, Panama City Beach, where golf never sleeps.
And welcome back, episode 85 of the Inside Drive podcast. We're hanging out with Coach Tommy Joe Whiddon. He's the varsity football coach over there at Mosley High School. Coach, what has this team done to improve its physicality and toughness compared to last season? I think you kind of elaborated that a little bit already with Jordan Whiteley.
Yeah, I think it starts with Jordan, and then to me, the next place you just have a chance to prove that is in practice. This off season, we went down to a coaching clinic in Orlando, and there's coaches from all over the country there. Coach Cristobal from Miami, Coach Sweeney from Clemson. Just, again, college coaches from everywhere. The thing that stuck out for me, obviously Miami and the run that they have, Coach Cristobal at the clinic, not game tape, but just practice tape, and just how Miami practiced every single day. I mean, they're practicing in the national championship the same way they were practicing in preseason camp. I mean, they're getting after, they're chasing the football, they're playing hard, just playing with a physical edge. And when you see that, like, oh, it makes sense. Like, it's no surprise of why they ended up, where they did, because they just had that mentality that they brought to practice every single day. So I reached out, I got clips of the Miami practice, and I brought back, and I showed our team. And you know how it is with high school kids when they're practicing, they get tired of hitting, they get tired of all that, and you pop that tape on the field, and you see Malachi Tony, 8 weeks into the season going and digging out a linebacker full speed and blocking that guy. You're telling me if that receiver in the country can block like this in practice, that he can't do the exact same thing every single day, and just trying to set the standard for guys like, hey guys, if you be a great player, this is what Malachi Tony, everybody talks about how athletic and shifty and dynamic is. Nobody talks about him as a blocker, and this guy's doing gritty work that nobody wants to do. You're telling me you're above that guy? Yep. And so that's just a mindset that we try to take into practice, and then we try to compete, every single day. And when we put an edge, like we said, we want to play a 9.5 every single day. And the challenge is making sure, we don't turn into emotional players. We go 12 or 13 because we always say emotional decisions are bad decisions. But again, you're gonna have some of that. It's not the worst thing. If some skirmishes break out, but as long as they're well intended and we go back to work, that's our approach every single day. That's how we're going to work. That's our mindset that we're going to do. And if you practice stuff like that, you're not going to play. Yep. That's a part of what we are.
Yeah. I have your schedule up in the middle of the screen here. Looking at your schedule, where do you feel your team will be challenged the most?
Well, I mean, like truth be told, I think like opening week and kickoff last 6 months. I know they're smaller school than us, but they were in the Final Four last year. Yep. And one you can make an argument. They probably have 3 best players in all of the annual. They got 2 athletes, one's committed to UConn, they got another kid's committed to Troy, and then they got a junior safety that's literally offered by everybody in the country. So like we're gonna find out pretty quick about how we're gonna play some real football players on the field. If we do what we're supposed to, like those guys can take it to the house, every single play. And that was really week 1 talk to, and Chuck was in Final Four because he's done a great job building the program over there for Walton. And my mindset now is like I love college football. I love opening weekend of college football. That first weekend is having like marquee matchups that first weekend, and like if they do it at that level, let's do the same thing at the high school level. I think it'll be a great measuring stick to find out where we are as a football team. I think both teams have high expectations for what they want to do this year. Obviously, there'll be a winner or loser. Both teams are going to manage that game and not let that game turn into make or break for the year. Good or bad. This division doesn't count you as you still got 9 more games to wait to play. If you lose it, you still at the end of the season that you're about to have. Exactly. And so we're definitely excited about that. And then with like everybody in my county, it's going to be a lot of challenges and going to Gene Cox and like I said, we're excited about our schedule. I didn't do the last game week 11 played high, in true rivalry game last game of the year. Yep. And I'm excited about that. Hopefully both teams have great seasons to where it's a moment to where kind of culminates. Yeah, just amazing. I go some around because one of my goals was I always heard about Coach Hart and all that. Like they just pack out. Just didn't even on Oliver. I wanted to get to Ray County is like that. And imagine the season we had last year. Our game said week 2 was the last game of the year. Like we're everyone pack out or sell out on Oliver. That's where it's going to have to happen. And like if it doesn't, like both teams can make a lot of money for that. And so that's kind of happening. Hopefully it doesn't.
That's huge for Ray County football because like I said, it was a couple years ago. We can get back to that. I just think that's so good football players in the area to have that stadium packed out on Friday, Thursday nights. But what has to happen for Steve Compton's goals this season?
Well, the thing that we've talked about, we've kind of hit on it already. It's all about leadership. That's what it's about, like the blocking. I tell them all the blocking, the tackling, the schemes, all like that's on me. That's my job to come up with that and make sure that we have a plan. The thing that I try to get them to understand is like I play 0 plays in a game. I'm not in the huddle. I'm not in the locker room. Like that is y'all's domain. And the best teams I've ever been a part of are the closest teams.
Yep.
To like when you break that huddle, it's not like what I can do for myself is like, man, I don't want to let these other 10 guys down on the field. And like those bonds have to be made every single day. And And like, that's the hardest thing as a coach. I tell them the thing that I struggle with the most is like, as much as I want to be in control of everything, like I have no control over that. Like if it was up to me, like I'd snap my finger and we'd all have great leaders. Teams are definitely going to be made through the course of the season. Like every football team is going to have adversity at some point. Like there's no avoiding that. And our ability to get through that is going to be like just solely based on how close we are as a football team, our willingness not to give up, how hard we're willing to compete regardless of the circumstance. And again, like to me, all of that stuff, all those bonds is created in that locker room. So I think the football locker room is one of the most sacred places, on the face of the earth.
Yep.
And how you really get to know people. And like I said, like through that, like we don't have to like one another, but we all have to respect one another.
Exactly. And play for each other. And so, like I said, like again, as much as I want to be in control of that, that's ultimately going to be, on the shoulders of our seniors and, how far they want to lead this football team. What's one thing your players have brought into this offseason that has impressed you the most?
I mean, one thing that I think that just is really impressive that and they don't talk about it, we don't talk about that, is like the success that we've had in this program. Like it would lend itself to have guys that have egos or attitudes or stuff like that. And like, we don't have a lot of that.
That's huge.
Like we got a lot of, to me, selfless guys that, that do want to play for one another. By no means are we perfect. Like any teams, there's good days and there's bad days.
Of course.
But like we definitely show up every single day with a workman's-like attitude and want to get better. And are there days where they got to be kicked in the butt to get going? Yeah, there are. But those days are very few and far between. They show up every single day. They know what the expectation is. And like they want to get better individually, which ultimately makes us better as a football team. So I think that's one thing that's impressive. And like the other thing too of Mosley football, like it's hard. Like we get up at 7:00 year round, and I just know like over time and like every single morning when I take roll at 7:00, like we're all here ready to go. And it's not like guys aren't. And again, we're not perfect. Is there somebody who might be late here? Yes, but it's not like, oh, we got 6 guys that didn't show up today. Just that consistency of guys showing up every single day, which makes me feel good. Going back to the fact that like rule number 1 in Mosley football is show up.
Show up,
and
yeah.
We've got ingrained that into our DNA to like whatever it is, like we know we got to show up for.
Absolutely. And that's a testament to, what you've done, your culture of the whole Mosley football program. We are obviously at my house with these podcasts, so when people come to the doors, my dogs go nuts. So I apologize about that. But Coach, how much competition has there been for the starting positions, and has anyone surprised you by earning a bigger role?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a big competition spot going on between our right guard center spot. So, in your mind, you have an idea of like how you want it to look and but like, again, like at the end of the day, it's going to go who produces and who makes the play. Like we have a young sophomore right now, Leo Morgan, who's really talented and just oozing with tons of potential. And, he's been slowly just like chipping away at that right guard spot. To like last night at practice, he got his first run going with the ones, at right guard. And so just been excited about Leo and just his development and work, because when Leo came in as a 9th grader, man, Leo had his own whole issue of problems of just overcoming adverse things in his life every single day and just trying to get him to understand the importance of consistency. I think he's done a great job of that over the summertime. The real challenge for Leo is like, once we get into school and the whole like things that come along with school and just making good decisions every single day and understanding the decisions that I make in the school also affect what happens out there on the football field. those are going to be challenges that Leo still has. But I think, there's been a real big, that right guard spot and right guard / center spot for us has been a good competition battle, and it's been fun to watch.
Very, very cool. How important is depth going into this? How important is depth going to be for this football team over the course of the season?
It's important every year. Heck, the last 2 years, we have started a freshman at corner in one ball game, and this is a thing that kids really struggle with, is like they think their fate for the season is sealed after preseason camp. Like, oh, I'm a backup and I'm never going to play. No, and I tell this team all the time, I don't want anybody to get injured, but at some point in time, somebody is going to get injured, something's going to happen, and you're going to be up. And are you going to be ready? Are you been paying attention? Have you been working hard that you can seamlessly transfer into that role? Or are you going to be checked out and then, oh crap, I get called into the limelight and I'm not ready because mentally I haven't prepared every single week? The example I always use, I can't remember, it was a couple of years ago where Alabama in the national championship game had a couple of wideouts get injured. Next thing you know, they throw a couple of freshmen in there and they played terrible. And then after that game, by no coincidence, they're in the portal, gone somewhere else. And it's not because, they played bad. It was because when they got their opportunity, they weren't ready for the moment. And I tell them, if they were ready for the moment, they wouldn't have gone somewhere else. And that's just the reality of it. You don't know when it's going to happen. Now, it takes a lot of mental toughness to be able to do that.
Yeah, because obviously you want to be out there.
Because you want to be out there. And again, I think that's important. When you do have depth as a coach, is to find roles and keep guys for the long haul of the season. Try to find ways to keep them motivated and keep them invested into the team, because at some point in time something's going to happen. And a guy that is definitely more invested and definitely more interested is going to be less of a learning curve for that guy versus some guy that's checked out in the middle of August and you're in November and we need a guy.
Well, and two, that goes back to your competition that you talk about all the time, is you got to always be, if you want that, you got to keep competing and being ready and being engaged, being invested, all kind of flow right into that. So hopefully when their opportunity comes, they're ready for it. When people watch Mosley this year, what do you hope they say about your football team afterward? I think we kind of asked that one in a different way earlier.
Yeah, but I mean, the first thing is that we're competitive, we play hard. And like I said, we're a well-executed football team that finds ways to win, and then plays their best football in critical situations. And that's not nervous, and that plays to win. We talk about it all the time. Play to win. When you play to lose, we say when you play to lose, guess what you're going to do every single time? You're going to lose.
Yep.
We want a team that's not scared of the moment. And but I think in not being scared of the moment, the thing you have to get kids to understand that anytime you compete, there's a chance you can lose. That's okay.
Yep.
Losing, as much as I want to win, long as you play hard and compete, nobody's gonna say it. You have the respect.
Yep.
What people ultimately don't respect are guys that lose and don't try.
Yeah.
And but again, we don't have a locker room of guys like that, and those are just the things I want people to be able to see and think about when they come watch us play football.
Absolutely. If your team is sitting here at the end of the season celebrating, what will be their biggest reason why?
Again, leadership. That's what I mean. I tell them all the time, the best high school team I ever coached at Niceville made it to the state championship, and it was by far and away not the most talented team I've ever coached. Now, did they have enough talent? Yes. But they were the most well-knit, close, competitive, and when games got at their closest, most critical spots, they were at their best. And it's not like they became magically better players in that moment. They just weren't scared of the moment because of their preparation, how much they believed in one another, and how hard that they were willing to fight for one another. So again, I try to tell those stories to my team. I tell them every single year. Some teams buy into it and believe in it, and some of them hey, coach is just saying that to say that, And those are things that are tough as a coach, because if it was up to me, I'd wave a magic wand and we'd check all those boxes, and here we go, ready to play football.
Couple more questions before we get out of here. What message do you have for the Mosley fans and community as they get ready to support this team?
Oh, man, the message I have, first of all, I'm extremely appreciative of all of our fans. I think you can see the article Banji does every single year about, the revenue that we get from ticket sales and all that. And it seems like Mosley is by far and away has the most support. So I'm very appreciative to all of our fans and everything that they do for us. My challenge to all of the fans, people in the Lynn Haven community, is get plugged into our social media pages. On Instagram, it's Mosley Dolphin FB. On X, it's same thing, Mosley Dolphin FB. And then on Facebook, it's just Mosley Football. And through that, you'd learn a lot about our team. You'd see the type of players that we have. I hope it generate more excitement. And also it lends itself to seeing just like the amount of fundraising and support that we have to do. It takes a ton of money to run a program with 150 guys in it that gets no funding from the state or the school district. And so we're completely self-funded. And so I would appreciate their support from coming to the games. And then whenever you see, we're doing one of our donation drives, or we're doing one of our raffles, to just say, challenge, buy a ticket, or find a way to give, because that money is going to help support a kid through like their most critical points of their life. And I think football is a great vehicle for that, to teach kids about themselves, to teach them about life. And we're trying to maximize that every single day. And, I think people would feel great to know that they're going to get a return on investment, by the way we play and the way our kids behave on a daily basis.
No doubt. 2 more questions. What's one thing you're most excited for when that first Friday, or for you guys, first Thursday night football finally arrives?
I'm just excited as a competitor. I'm just excited about the competition, I'm excited that we're playing a really good team, and you get to find out what all of your work and preparation looks like. And then after the game, the battle is has just begun on how we're going to manage this situation. What is the plan? Like I said, your plan is always ever evolving. And that's the part of football I love, is that process of the journey of just the not knowing of where the season's going to go. And you're trying to navigate that to get to your ultimate end destination. And as much as you think you're in control, you learn that you're not as in much control as you think you are. And just everything that goes along with that, to me, is fun and exciting, and it is a truly rewarding experience that it's hard to describe, because the pendulum can swing both ways. It can be the highest of highs and lowest of lows and anywhere in between.
But there's an opportunity every time you go out there and step on the football field. It's just so exciting and so much fun. Finally, you posted today that history was made today and Bay County leads the way. I know that thing has to do with how you can expand on that real quick.
Yeah, so Bay County's kind of been at the forefront, and they've been on the cutting edge of this. There's where booster clubs can raise funds to help pay assistant coaches and the head coach for that matter as well, where that's not the case throughout the state of Florida. So where some school districts won't allow teams to even have booster clubs, which is wild, and say how are they going to and so there's different levels. Some have booster clubs, and the state of Florida through the House Bill, I think it's 538. They've Governor Sam signed, so hey, every school district can have booster clubs now. Every school district can allow their booster clubs to pay their coaches, and there's a lot of counties that are still pushing back and saying, hey,
so the county itself has to adopt that.
Yes, the county is on the school district to adopt that legislation, and they're just calling out the Florida Coaches Coalition is now calling out counties that aren't adopting, and they're recognizing the counties that are doing the things that they're supposed to do. That's one thing that I have to stop and be appreciative of. As much as there's a lot of things behind the scenes I'm thankful for our program, that as good as things are, they're not where I truly want to be, and sometimes we just stop and be appreciative for the things that we do have, because there's definitely other places that don't have it as well as we have in Bay County. I think it's just a good reminder for yourself to sometimes you don't get the things that you want, you still have it better than other people out there.
Yeah, just realizing that there's a lot of other people programs wherever you're comparing yourself to don't have it as good as you are, and you have it gratitude, and you're these can sort of go a long way. But before we go, you remind everybody can see the Kickoff Classic and first game season.
So you can watch Kickoff Classic on our YouTube page.
Which is fantastic.
Yes, and Kyle and David do an unbelievable job. Just bring our name, their excitement, their knowledge. Robert Fleming helps out with the pregame show as well. Yep. And as good as it's been, Kyle and David are trying to take it to a whole other level. They're doing a live pregame show that you can watch leading into the game. One thing we're doing as well, we can recognize when you get the season, we see how many people watch. There's a lot of people watch. And they going back that support piece. We've been doing that completely free for a lot of people to watch that this year. We're going to code, kindly ask people to donate $10, instead of paying them to do it, pay them and donate, because Kyle and David do an unbelievable job bringing that production to everyone. And feedback that I get from everybody is how to do a great job, and they truly watch it. And the thing that's wild is you're a Mosley alum that's in New York or somewhere halfway around the world and they're watching the games on Friday night. And I think it's just really cool.
Well, those are opportunities to do that, and you guys taking advantage of that. I think another piece of your program to separate you guys. It's not just because you can just be radio podcasts, and then you guys pair it together with video. So it's like you're watching the game live, but you're watching on your own TV.
Yeah, the fun thing about that is just watching how things just you turn things over to people and just watching them organically grow. First I didn't have video, and I was like, have bring video, and they had this idea let's do video, and then I personally didn't have expectations of what it should look like. And then I go and watch we got graphics on the TV, ESPN, it's wild just the production value that it has. It's going above and beyond my wildest expectations of what that is. And this year we're trying to add a completely do it with free.
Yeah, well, it's just, again, your program just hands down, it's a whole complete experience, not for your kids, your coaches, but also for the fans of the community here in Benton County. So congratulations to all you guys, and of course, good luck this season to you and the boys. And thank you so much for coming on the podcast one more time. Obviously, stay in touch to see. And of course, good luck, good luck. But Coach Whiddon, thanks for coming on. We have a few more sponsors, and we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you, appreciate it.
Products that assist with travel, easy business loans, or affordable auto loans. Come see us.
Let's talk about one of our newest sponsors, CK Secrets and Condom Knowledge. Whether you're looking to spice things up, find the perfect gift, browse unique lingerie, or stock up on your smoke shop favorites, CK Secrets and Condom Knowledge is your ultimate local playground. With 3 convenient locations, Jenks Avenue in Panama City, Thomas Drive, and Front Beach Road in Panama City Beach, there's always a store nearby. Stop in, check out their incredible selection, and let one of their friendly staff team members help you find exactly what you're looking for. Your secrets are safe with us at CK Secrets and Condom Knowledge.